Jack users. So for the builders out there that have been struggling with safety, not knowing how to approach it, feeling like you're not compliant, Jack now has it. Let me take you through it. So when we first load up onto our screen here, we've navigated to a job and the safety tab. You can see a little safety dashboard here. This will make more sense as we get further into it. Now, the first thing we want to do to set up a job for safety, to be able to have your people compliant, is click inductions. So I've created this particular job from a template and I've pre-templated an induction document. So I'm going to go in and show you that induction document. I click update induction document, and you can update and create your own induction documents in Jack. Or if you already have an existing PDF that you like to use for your inductions, you can click upload existing, and then that will be the induction document for when people scan it on site. So we click update induction document here. We can see we're on version 1. And we've got some emergency contact information here to do with the site so that when people scan into that induction, they can see that. What safety on site PPE you require, you can tick these boxes, and you can also list any further items here. We've got some pre-listed high-risk construction work that you might want to select or deselect from the list. So if we wanted to take a couple of these off and only these 4 high-risk construction items apply, we can do that, or we can add new ones. Down here, we can also add any risks and hazards that are currently identified on the site. So when someone inducts to it, they're aware of those hazards on site. So we can add and type those in. Any notifiable work that is relevant to this site, we can add new items here. So there might be some removal of asbestos going on site, and you want to list that on the induction document. And then also any qualifications, training and competencies that you require people to have when they induct to the site. So now I'm going to click update induction document, and that induction document has now been updated for this site and is live as of now, this date and this time. I'll go on to the next part that you want to set up, and that is the job safe work method statements. You can create them from scratch within Jack and build out your own, or what you can do is upload them from an existing PDF. Now, a good use case for this is your contractors send you their safe work method statements. This might be from Tom's Plumbing. And what you can do here is choose the contact that's already in the system and then upload their safe work method statement. Now, what that means is when we acknowledge that safe work method statement on site, it will actually be linked to that company from that trade when they scan onto site. Or we can create them from our existing safe work method statement templates that will be loaded into Jack. There'll be 70 different ones. So if you're a painter, you don't have a safe work method statement, you come onto site, you can choose from a pre-templated safe work method statement. Just makes it easy and quick for that trade to quickly induct and agree to it, to how they're going to work on site. So we'll move on now to JSAs. These can be created on the fly on the mobile app when people are inducting into site. Incidents. So we have incident management in Jack as well. I'll show you that further on the mobile app, but if people create those incidents, they'll list back here within the job. And site surveys. So site surveys can be used in a number of ways. Predominantly, this is going to be used to have hold points that you want people to inspect the cleanliness of the site, the safety of the site along the way. So one of these might be check scaffold when your scaffold goes up. And you could have a date that this is due at, or you can link the due date of this site survey to a particular item. So that might be installation of scaffolding 1 day after that item. Now we want to add a topic, and the topic might be check scaffold installed. And then you could build out a series of questions with that topic that you want them to cover off. So the question type could be a yes, a no, or a NA. And the question might be, are kicker boards installed? Next question you might have is the scaffold compliance certificate there? So on and so forth. So that on the mobile app, when we go to complete that site survey, you can complete the yes, no, or NA answers. That's now in progress, and we can access that on the mobile app. Toolbox meetings, these can be created here and completed on the mobile app. You can set a meeting date. You then can set any attendees that are going to be at that meeting, or at the meeting on the mobile app. You can also save that when you're on site. So I'll just save that as not complete, and we've now got the toolbox meetings. Also note that all of this can be templated, so you don't have to create it every time. You can create this within your job template so that it's all there. Now we have site signage. So within Jack, you can order your site signage directly to be posted out to you with some pre-filled building site contact information, your health and safety manager, your principal contractor, which will be your own company, who the surveyor is, who the site manager is, and that'll all pre-fill out onto the site here. So if we put in Fred's Surveying, You can see here that's starting to build out onto the site sign, the phone number of Fred, so that when you order that sign, that is how it will come direct to you. Now, we can order that sign directly from Jack here by clicking order. We can also download a preview of that sign. And if we don't want to order a physical sign, we actually do a QR code here, which you can download and stick it directly onto your own site signage. Or you could just download the site signage file and have your own supplier produce it for you. But let's say we do want to order it. We click order now, and it will take you to a payment screen. It's $199 for us to print that physical core flute sign and post it out to you direct to your delivery address, which you can set up here, which might be the site address. It might be your office address, physical address, and we'll post that out to you. So that's site signage. I'm going to take you through now how it would work on the mobile app on site. So you've ordered a site sign, you've put it up on the fence. I've got a copy of one here. And what I'm going to do is pretend I'm a contractor and or a staff member and sign in and take you through the induction process. So I've got my phone here. I'm going to go to my camera, scan the QR code. It's going to hit me straight to the Jack app and let me log in. So it's taken me straight to my safety page here. And what I'm going to do is agree to the induction document. So I'll hit induction document, and you can see on the screen it's saying induction not found. So we're going to quickly jump back into our web portal and go to the induction tab and create a site induction document. So we can upload an existing PDF if you've already got a PDF that you use for your site inductions, or we can create a fresh one here from Jack. Just remembering within your job templates, you don't have to recreate this every time. If you do have a generic site induction, can create it in your job template so that every time you do create a job, this is already set up in there for you. So let's create a new one. We'll enter some basic information in here, go down, and I've set up what safety on site PPE equipment we require. Any high risk construction work, you can take off the pre-filled items that you don't want here. If there's any hazards that you've identified on site that people should be aware of when they're inducting. So let's say there's a hole in front yard, etc. You can add them in there. Any notifiable work that's relevant to this site. And then if you want to list any qualifications, training and competencies that you require people to have to be able to induct a site, we can also list them there. So I'm going to update this induction document. Now what I'm going to do is go back to the mobile app. And if we navigate into the job again and click induction, we'll be able to see now that the induction document has been updated and loaded for this job, ready for me to acknowledge that induction document. So all that we've created in the web app is now existing in the mobile, and I'm going to click the acknowledge button on my mobile app now. It's going to ask me to sign this or enter my name. I'm just going to sign that there, click save, and now we'll be able to see on the site induction requirement is now ticked. There is a tick on the safe work method statement because there hasn't been a safe work method statement uploaded for me to acknowledge. However, if the user wanted to, they could here create a new safe work method statement from scratch, give it a name, and let's say we're digging a trench today. We can pre-fill that in, what measures are in place. You can put the measures in place. I'm going to say bunt off the area. And then we can go through and put any high risk related construction work. So deep excavation, I'm going to put in here. And these can be templated as well, so they don't have to be worn every time. Full protection, any permits required, any qualifications. Next, and then any steps that we're going to take to work safely on this site. So we're going to put in fencing, risk level, medium, hazards, full, and then the safety measures is the bunting. And then we're going to save step, and then we can keep adding steps if we want. However, we're going to say that that's the only steps that we're going to create for this safe work method statement, and then click complete. So now we've acknowledged the digging trench safe work method statement, and we can see now that we've completed that part of our induction process. So now we can see on the phone all required tasks have been completed. We've done our induction, we've done our safe work method statement and the compliance documents. And we can see down the bottom of the screen here on the mobile app, we can now check in. So we can see now that we are checked into this site, and if we want to check out at any time, we can come back in here and click check out. Now I've got enabling of location tracking on my phone. So as soon as I walked away from this site within 100 meters, the geolocation tracking will kick in and will check me out of the site automatically. And that conversely, when I come back to site the next day, because I've already completed the induction process, it will automatically check me in with the geolocation tracking. So if we now go into the web portal, into that job that has been checked into, we can see under attendees that attendee name Daniel Morton checked in on the 8th at 13:43. So now if I come back to the phone and check out, we'll be able to see if I refresh the page here, I'm now checked out. It's instantly updated that. So that's a really good way of being able to see what contractors, what time they got to site, what time they left, for the compliance of knowing who's on site, should anything come up on site and you want to know who's there. So that's from a check-in perspective. If we go to safety management, we can now also see on the mobile app a list of site attendees. So if we see checked in, there's no one currently checked into site. And if we now go to checked out, we can see a list of people that have been checked out of site. So that's really handy if you're a site manager and you want to quickly go to site. You can see 4 people are on site.